Hi, welcome. We're here with Daniel Santiago, the Vice President of Strategic Engagements at Vantagepoint AI. Daniel's going to be with us for the rest of January 2022, same time, every day, giving our audience a sneak peek into Vantagepoint AI trading software. Daniel, so nice to have you with us. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, Michael. Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to be here. Always love working with you guys. So I'm looking forward to getting into some of the details about Vantage Point.
Absolutely. Same here. Always a pleasure working with you guys as well. So we're excited to get this deeper look into the software and actually learn more about Vantagepoint. So let's dive right in. Today, we're going to be taking a high-level look of the Vantagepoint AI, as well as going over the company history. So let's start there. How long has Vantagepoint been around?
Michael, that's a great question. The Vantage Point company itself has been operating since 1979. And usually when I say that, a lot of people take a step back because we're a software company. We're utilizing artificial intelligence, which we'll get into. But back in the 70s, our founder, Louis Mendelson, got started in creating technology for individual traders and investors. And his first technology was a strategy backtesting technology. And the company was started in 79, and that was the technology, the tools, the analysis that he was using to get us started. So, we're going on decades of helping individual traders and investors in the same space. We're talking about swing trading, the financial markets, whether we're talking about futures or asset classes like stocks, ETFs, now into cryptocurrencies. It's done so well for so long, but really 1979 was where we got our start.
Amazing. And then you referenced it briefly, but tell me a little bit more about who started it. Who created Vantagepoint?
It's a great story. Louis Mendelson is our founder, is our creator. As a matter of fact, let me pull this up. I want to share just a quick screen with you guys so that you can see who Louis Mendelson is. He's the founder of this company. He's the one that created the technology. You should see him coming up on the screen right now. What he's been able to do for traders has been fantastic. I mentioned strategy backtesting already, Michael. He was the first person to ever bring backtesting to the personal computer for traders to use day in and day out. Now he's moved away from backtesting, but it was a technology that was unheard of, that became very, very successful. And there's a lot of people that still use backtesting to enhance their trading, to optimize what they're doing day in and day out. Well, Louis Mendelson realized that that wasn't a technology that was sustainable or going to be as helpful. And it was 1987, Black Monday. Michael, I'm sure you've heard of Black Monday and what happened then.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, that was the day that the markets systematically crashed around the world. We're talking about Asian markets crash, European, Australia came all the way to the US. And when that happened, when that crash happened, Mr. Mendelson took a step back. Now, on the slide, you'll see that he's a Carnegie Mellon alumnus, so he learned about computer technology. He learned about artificial intelligence from Carnegie Mellon. And unless you go to MIT, Carnegie Mellon is the birthplace of artificial intelligence. So he realized in 87 on Black Monday, when that crash happened, that something different was going on. Something different was affecting the markets, affecting what traders were trying to do in the financial markets. And the difference was the global connection. When the markets fell from country to country, continent to continent, he realized that there's a connection happening in the financial markets that is undeniable. And the trader or the investor that could utilize that connection to their advantage could absolutely take things to the next level. So it was in 1987 that he realized he wanted to move away from strategy backtesting, and he started working on Vantagepoint's artificial intelligence. And that was groundbreaking at the time. In the last several years, a lot of people have been talking about artificial intelligence. Corporations have started to bring it into what they do. Big data providers are providing more information so that artificial intelligence can do what it can do. Well, that's what, 2019, 2020, 2021. Mr. Mendelson started pioneering this and started using this technology in the late 80s in his personal trading, 88, 89. And he released the artificial intelligence that we're talking about today in Vantagepoint in 1991, Michael. It's way ahead of his time. But he knew when Black Monday happened and the markets were globally interconnected that there had to be some way that he could pull in that mass amount of data, the data from what's going on in different countries, not only internationally, but even domestically. There's so many things that influence what traders are looking to trade, that the best way to process all of that data, computer technology and artificial intelligence. So he brought artificial intelligence to the marketplace for traders in 1991 and released the very first version of Vantagepoint with AI to traders then, so they could start using it in the futures markets.
That's amazing. And then let's dive a little bit deeper into that, obviously, because that's what we're really here to discuss. Tell me about the patented artificial intelligence and the predictive forecasting. What details can you give us on that end of things?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. When you sit back and you think about it, you know that there's so many pieces of data out there in the marketplace, right? Let's just list out some of the things like the open, high, low, close, volume, open interest, just the data points on individual assets alone. There's mass amounts of data when you just look at just the stocks in the US, but now you pull in the stocks from around the world or other markets from around the world, currencies, right? Gold, oil. There's so many data points that are influencing the markets as a whole. The artificial intelligence has the ability to take in all that data. When the more you learn about artificial intelligence, the more you realize that it has the ability to process massive amounts of data. I mean, you're talking about millions and millions of data points being processed daily. And that process is being done to figure out what is influencing the underlying asset, which we'll get into the details here, momentarily. But that, just the idea of being able to do that was unheard of. Well, Mr. Mendelsohn at the time was able to take that technology, obviously enhance it, grow it. He's written several books on the topic. We're talking about trend forecasting with artificial intelligence and intermarket analysis, supercharging your trading with artificial intelligence, or some of the books he's written, because what he had done with the AI was just unheard of. And it came from what he learned, as a Carnegie Mellon alumnus. Now, Mr. Mendelsohn, Louis Mendelsohn, is still part of the organization. So, Michael, he's still here. I talk to him on a regular basis, but he's also handed that technology, which we'll be talking about in a moment and digging into the details. He's handed the reins of our organization over to Lane Mendelsohn, his son. And I like to personally refer to Lane as a second generation phenom, because when you think about, we're family owned and operated. Mr. Mendelsohn started our organization in 1979, as I said. Well, he's been at it a long time. He's been able now to bring Lane into the organization, and Lane's been here since he was a little boy, helping his dad around the office. But now he's got the reins of the organization, and he's been able to do great things with the AI and really take it to the next level. As a matter of fact, I've got a short video clip I'm going to play for you guys really quickly, just introducing you to Lane so that you can understand how the organization has grown from where we were in 1979 to what we're able to do now. Let me play this clip for you.
Lane Mendelsohn's company has developed a way to transform the lives of people.
Lane Mendelsohn, the president of Vantagepoint Software.
Lane Mendelsohn.
Lane Mendelsohn.
Lane Mendelsohn, president of Vantagepoint AI.
Joining me in the studio today is Lane Mendelsohn.
And with me today, Lane Mendelsohn, the president of Vantagepoint AI.
Your artificial intelligence software was able to predict the January market drop.
Your company forecasted that the tech stocks erased all the gains for the year.
What's the criteria you use at Vantagepoint when you look at a stock?
We're doing a very advanced form of pattern recognition using artificial intelligence.
My company's been involved with artificial intelligence for 30 years. This is the future.
You're talking about thousands and thousands of data points being analyzed every single day. A human could not do this. If you're not analyzing all of those other factors, you're not seeing the full picture. To really gain an edge in today's global markets, you have to have a global approach.
Vantagepoint Software 的主席 Len， 那他和我们一起分享一下股票投资。
It's all about having the odds in your favor. Our focus is the technology.
In the last 10 years, we've spent over $10 million in research and development, developing the technology.
We actually been forecasting the retail stocks to go up for about a week now.
A couple of days ago, we said tech stocks were going to start to go up, and look what today happened. I mean, the Dow had a tremendous day today.
Our philosophy is if we can't predict it with a very high degree of accuracy, why bother? There are so many other stocks that we can forecast with such a high degree of accuracy.
And one of the things that I like about you personally, Lane, is that you really are a family guy.
I think that it's most important that that you spend time with family, you teach values. My daughter knows all of our core values for our company, and the first one is integrity. We're going to continue to refine, develop, and make this product so that everybody in the world who wants to have financial freedom can easily benefit from it.
All right, Michael. So in that clip, you can see that from NASDAQ, heck, we've been on Benzinga before with you guys, and it's always a pleasure working with you guys. CNN, Fox News, there's been so many programs that have been interested in the technology that we've put together, that the Mendelsons have put together here, because of that process of doing that intermarket analysis. Now, we're going to dig into intermarket analysis here shortly, but the one thing I want everybody to understand is that the company, what we've done here at Vantagepoint AI is we've patented the process, not once, but twice. Lane Mendelson spearheaded the ability to patent this technology so that we could show that there is nobody else in the world doing analysis like this. There's nobody else in the world creating indicators and information for individual traders to use day in and day out with the benefit of artificial intelligence like this. There's 2 patents on the technology, and we'll dig into the details on those. But it's been remarkable what Lane's been able to do. Take over what his father created, take over a technology that his father pioneered, and then make it so that other traders around the world can use it at home, on their computers, at their desks, before they make any trading decisions. It's really been a pleasure working with them. They're some of the smartest guys I've ever met. And what they're able to do for individual traders, in my opinion, is bar none some of the best things out there.
That's great. Awesome to hear. And obviously such an impressive track record too. And you mentioned talking about the details a little bit more. So let's do exactly that. Tell me about the up to 87.4% accuracy of the software. It's an incredible number. How does that come together? How does that work?
Yeah, sure, Michael. I mean, sit back and think about it. If you sit back and think about what traders are trying to accomplish, right? You're looking for the best opportunity, the best trade, not the mediocre one, not the one that's going to, sit and go sideways for a while before it takes off. But you're looking for that trade or that trend opportunity that's expected to start moving sooner rather than later. And what traders struggle with is finding that opportunity. And not only finding that opportunity, but what the Mendelsons have been able to do is create a way with artificial intelligence to find that opportunity at the right time. Because as a trader, you could get into a position and you could experience some drawdown and the trend go against you before it actually starts to go in your favor. And a lot of traders don't have the wherewithal. They don't have the dry powder to sit there and let something go against them before it takes off. So one of the things that the AI is capable of doing is helping you find that opportunity, but then find it at the right time, right before the trend is expected to take off. You mentioned 87.4% accurate. The forecast that the AI is doing has the ability to identify a trend up to 3 days in advance with up to 87.4% accuracy. And it doesn't matter the direction, whether you're talking about a bullish trend, whether you're talking about a bearish trend. Heck, for those of you that like to do iron condors, you want to find something that's delta neutral and moving sideways. The AI has the ability to take in all of that data from around the world. And let me explain what I mean by that. And I'll show you some stuff here momentarily. But what it takes in is all of the market data, and it figures out what is influencing, what is impacting, what's driving the price of the asset that you're looking to trade. And it's using that information to figure out when that trend is expected to move, right? The direction is expected to move, how strong that trend is expected to move, and whether or not there's momentum building in that trend over the next 1, 2, or 3 days. It's really remarkable what the technology has been able to do, and the patents themselves detail out how this AI is taking in all that data and then transforming that data into predictive indicators so that you can understand what trends are expected to take off when, the direction they're expected to go, and how strong they're expected to go up to 3 days in advance. And that's powerful.
That's great. And then you also talked a little bit about the exclusivity of this, right? How there's nobody else out there doing it. So what is it that makes this so special, especially when you're looking at it from the perspective of so few other people, in fact, nobody else actually using this software?
Yeah, great question, Michael. That's one of the things. In order to get a patent, you've got to prove a couple of things. Number one, you got to prove whatever the thing you're trying to patent works, and you have to prove that it's unique, that there is nobody else in the world that's doing it. So when we submitted our patent and our information, that's one of the key pieces before you're awarded a patent. And remember, we've been awarded 2 patents by the U.S. Patent Office, proving that there is nobody else doing analysis like this, that the technology is sound, and that it works. More importantly, though, let's set that aside. Individual traders have been actually using this technology to make trading decisions since 1991, right? We're talking about over 30 years that this technology has been out there, and individual traders have been applying it and getting results. So whether or not you're interested in the patents and the technology behind the scenes, the real world use scenario has been going on for over 30 years. It's very difficult to find another organization that has that longevity, that credibility, or what I like to call it, the golden pedigree that we have here at Vantagepoint.
Absolutely. Well, it's been an amazing first look at Vantagepoint. We are so happy to be able to get some inside insight here. We've got some great assets and some great conversation already down. But of course, Daniel Santiago, Vice President of Strategic Engagements, you'll be back with us talking about Vantagepoint AI through the rest of January. Thank you so much for this first conversation. Looking forward to the next one.
Looking forward to it. Thanks.